Yeah, hot enough for you? I don't mean the weather. I don't know what that means. Good evening, everyone. So according to a new book, Joe Biden didn't know how many hours he spent with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Even worse, when he met Xi, he handed him a bag of laundry. Honest mistake. Former Biden aides reportedly changed Joe's number after a New York Times journalist called his personal cell phone. Those who tried to reach Joe were met with a Verizon recording that said, "The president you dialed is no longer in service." Democrat voters are reportedly telling politicians they need to be violent in resisting Trump, and lawmakers should prepare to get shot, or depending on the lawmaker, stabbed through the heart with a wooden stake. Dipped in holy water. A man in Italy reportedly committed suicide by getting sucked into a jet engine. After hearing the news, guess who just bought her husband a jet? Oh. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is being mocked for posting a bad Photoshop to make himself look thinner. Because here he is in real life. According to the Daily Mail, women are improving their sex drives by taking pills made from the fallopian tubes of cows. Aww. Yeah, thankfully, though, the cows don't seem to miss it. Oh, yes, never get enough. According to software company NordPass, the most common password in the world is 123456. In a related story, guess who just emptied Brian Kilmeade's 401k account? And I think this is finally, I'm not sure. A 33-year-old Chinese man who showed up at the ER with severe stomach pains turned out to have a foot-long live eel in his abdomen. Wow, how did he get that in there? So, monologue time. House Democrats are claiming that their base is so angry that they're demanding a disregard for American institutions, even the rule of law. One voter even wanted Democrat lawmakers to be willing to get shot when visiting ICE facilities. Finally, something we can all agree on. Kid. But that's how you know when your party's when you hope your leaders get lead poisoning. One lawmaker said their own base thinks resistance to Trump is so futile that there needs to be blood. And they're tired of waiting for Tim Walz's time of the month. So after years of lies, from Trump is Hitler to Jasmine Crockett can read, they've worked themselves into a frenzy, saying Trump's got to be stopped by force. So as if given orders from above, a gunman in tactical gear opened fire on Border Patrol agents in Texas. Agents returned fire, and the shooter is deader than the elastic in Jerry Nadler's underpants. But a local police officer was hit and is in stable condition. Democrats say, we won't know a motive, unless, of course, we find out he's Republican. Meanwhile, 10 people now face charges after a planned ambush on an ICE facility in Alvarado, Texas, intending to kill ICE corrections officers. There, up to 12 people in black military-style clothing began shooting fireworks at the facility. In Portland on Friday, anti-ICE protests ended ugly as protesters clashed with officers. Of course, this year we've seen Teslas burned after the Dems made Elon the new Hitler. In L.A., Dems turned a blind eye as cars were torched and concrete was hurled onto police cars on the freeway. Instead, they called on ICE agents to remove their masks, when they should be asking Nancy Pelosi to keep hers on. But storming a New Jersey ICE facility, crashing a news conference, or throwing rocks at ICE vans, just another day for the party. Luckily, a lot of them throw like bitches. So what's the Dem leadership doing? Well, here's Hakeem Jeffries, the House Minority Leader, posing with a baseball bat, vowing to push back against Trump's legislation. Well, that's one player they'll never have to test for steroids. Hakeem posing with a baseball bat is about as believable as AOC posing at the library. But you'd think the Dems would have learned after Trump's near assassinations that demonization can lead to death. Or maybe that is the lesson they learned and they liked it. And if your party's a failed institution, why not bring on the violence? So imagine you're one of America's enemies. You got to be thrilled with your 10-year plan to destroy America. It's right on schedule. First, you radicalized a segment of society, exploiting the egos of elite campus activists. Then you made the idea of a border a toxic symptom of Western imperialism. You created a mass invasion, flooding the country with millions of unknowns. And now you got actual citizens waging war against its own system. It's funny, though, I don't think any of our global enemies could have pulled this one off. I bet they're wondering who did. Perhaps we're the first country to create its own existential enemy. And true, the right will always be better armed and better at using those arms. But unlike the left, we don't see violence as an acceptable political remedy. It's why the only gun used on Jan 6th was by a Democrat cop on an unarmed protester. Fact is, the left views everything as a power struggle between oppressed and oppressor. And they believe there are no limits when fighting the oppressor. So the Dems were right when they warned about threats against democracy and political violence. They just didn't say it was coming from them.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.